Hello traders, today I want to record a quick video about how to backtest your strategy in Ninjatrader 8. So I want to give some tips on how I do it, and especially if you are new, you have a strategy, you want to backtest it before you want to trade it. So let's just let's see how I do it. Because I have a strategy. It's a bounce method. We're bouncing from 34 EMA, and it was tested on. I continually traded on MNQ or NQ, but I want to look at other instruments. So my task is to see how can I backtest different parameters for MYM or for a Dow. So because my tested strategy works fine with Ninjatrader 2010, but when it comes to MYM, I need to have, it's a different instrument, so I need to have a different settings. So I need to play around with different settings for this particular instrument. So, and that's what you want to do as well. But before that, let me just give you quick tips. The number one, the very first element you want to have is you really need to have your strategy written out. I mean, it should be written out to details. Write it out as almost you are giving it out to your programmer to code it for you. You want to have details, you want to have visuals, and it's gotta have these details of bars. It has details of bar formations, it has details of time frame, bar types, details of wicks, different support and resistance levels, like any other indicators you might use. You want to have it all in your strategy, and it needs to be written out. You should not have a confusion about that. The second element is you want to backtest for a specific time only, the time you're actually will be trading. So if you're trading only first hour of opening session, you want to be backtesting only that period of time. I mean, don't test any other time, only the time you're actually going to test. I mean, you're actually going to trade. It doesn't make sense, at different times, in different days, the times they're different than any other time. So be specific about your time. If you're trading from 9:30 till 10:30, you test only for that time. You don't care what happens at 10:30 or at 11:30 or 7:30. You only backtest to the time that is relevant to you. The next point is you want to backtest the one strategy at a time. It's you want to see that particular elements of your strategy, where they work or not. So once you establish that those elements work, you proceed to another one, but you only trade one at a time. You want to load data for about at least a week to see whether it's viable strategy for you or not. It has to be repeatable enough. So I think 1 week would be good size. And but again, if you're using larger time frames, you might need to have it more. But for scalpers, I think 1 week is good enough. But once you're determined that 1 week is was profitable for you, then you extend it for a couple more weeks to see whether it's going to be profitable in additional weeks as well. So and another point is, have a spreadsheet to record the winners and losers. You basically just mark it down, or check mark lost or won, for that specific time. And if your strategy is working, then you can hire a coder, and he can code it for you. And because I've seen many traders, they do it the opposite way. They try to perfect the strategy by writing the code, and they end up wasting a lot of time, and they will never perfect their strategy, and at the end they're neither coders nor traders. So the algos should help you in your trading to become, to be a better trader. So it's just it's what's helping you out, but it should not replace your trading, not at least in initial stages. So I'll just go, how I do it. Just a real example. I have this Ninjatrader 6.3. I thought, after I looked at market, because I need to see enough market I need to see enough price action around 34 EMA. I'm only trading the first hour of opening session, so it'll be 9:30 till 10:30. So if I'm gonna reduce the size, so at first glance it tells you, we have a bounce, clear bounce. We have a reaction to 34 EMA. So it seems like, I like the setting 6.3 because I see the reaction to 34 EMA. I see it enough. And so that's how I chose this setting 6.3. And if you, let's say you're using Ninjatrader, because if you're putting let's say a different settings, if you're gonna come back to that day and see how price reacts to 34 EMA, we have one bounce, we have this bounce, this bounce, this bounce. So you can still see it, but I cite only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 times in the first hour. To me, it's a little bit too long. I mean, too low. I'd like to have, at least 10. So that's why I choose my time. It'll be 6.3, and with this settings I'll have enough price action. I also loaded 7 days. That'll be about a week worth of data. So here are my steps. I come back to this time that I'm supposed to be trading. So that will be from 9:30 till 10:30, and we have, okay, so I record the bounce from here. Now let me put my arrows. I have a bounce here, and just copy and paste it. I'll paste many of them at a time. So here's a bounce. We have a bounce here. Mine doesn't want to scroll easily. We have a bounce here. We have a bounce here. We have a bounce here. we have a, the bounce is the reaction, the bounce from 34 EMA. So we have a bounce here. We also have a bounce here. So, and then you also have some short ones, right? So you are going to we're not in shorts here. That's not into my strategy because we're angulating long pretty much. So I'm looking for longs, but here is a bounce, to the short side. We also have a bounce from here. So yeah, so I hope you see what I'm doing here, and so this would be, the one. I'm just not going into much of the details as far as charting goes, but you just mark for yourself which one worked, which one's not. Now the way I do it, if trade didn't work, like this trade didn't work because there wasn't two bars after the signal bar, so this was failed, but I could easily come back then and examine why it failed. Well, we had a big wick, it's better not to open against big wicks. So yeah, the ones that worked, you just leave those arrows. The ones that didn't work, you mark it with those squares. And once you're gonna be done with this session, let's say, we have another one here. I'm sorry, not this one. Never mind. Yeah, it was here. So this one didn't work out. So, but I hope you see that you want to continue this until your set time. You start at 9:30. You mark it until here, and you're done. You're done for this section. Then once you're done, you go back before that. You go the day before that, and you start marking, for the same day. I mean, for different days, the same time. And of course, if you if there is news, you want to avoid trading the news, and you want to set specific time that you are allowed to trade after the news and before the news. Sometimes if news are at 10 o'clock, you want to be stopped flat 5 minutes before, and once the news released, you can wait, like, I try to wait 15 minutes before I would attempt any trade. Depends on the market, of course. But those are the guidelines, and record it in a spreadsheet. There'll be a link in the description where you can just download that spreadsheeter to see if your strategy is valuable. Yeah, I like to work with Ninjatrader style, but you can, if you have a 1 minute strategy, then you would do the same thing. You have so many minutes in 60 minutes basically in the first hour. So you'll want to write out the details of your strategy and backtest it. You don't need any fancy software for that. I mean, you can load your data series is right there. You load how many days you need, like you can load 30 days and it'll load for you. And yeah, so that's the way I do it. That's the way I work on my strategy and try to optimize it. And when I come to the new instrument, that's essentially I do the back testing, this paper trading myself. Yes, and once you are finished with backtesting it, you determine it, then you go to sim account. Go to sim account and trade it for a week and kind of build that muscle. See if it works out for you or not. Maybe it's gonna, maybe the strategy is just gonna be so quick for you that you are actually not gonna be able to trade it. So and that's what you will know once you start live trading with on sim or with your real money or funded account or evaluation account. The beauty of this backtesting your strategy is that it gives you confidence. When you look at your trades that you took, backtesting it, you gain confidence in your strategy. It's either you gain confidence or you lose confidence, and that's what it really is. If you're trading, you need to be confident. If you're not confident, just revise your strategy and start trading when you're confident. So hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for watching.